Greetings, this is Scholar Saunders Singh. What's current? I'm on my flat earther shit. It's all about flat earth. In my research, I was able to discover how there's just a mismatch. There's just a mismatch. There's flat earthers that are atheists and that don't credit the Bible and don't credit ancient texts like the Quran and the Torah. Then you have believers who say that the earth is round, is globular, as a result of God's work. That's the weird space where we're living in right now. How you can have science and reason and facts and truth, and that belonging, quote unquote, belonging to certain people or ascribed to them. I think it's all just gobbledygook. They're fighting over territory that doesn't need to be fought over. It doesn't make sense. It's all words that don't correspond to the facts of reality. And that's the sad part, because if you are a believer and you know that the globe is round, why don't you have an inkling of everything else that is scientific, that is rational, that is truthful? What is it that stopped you? You have the opportunity to say that reason is the supreme way of finding knowledge through the man's senses. But at the same time, you want to say that there was an ark and a man that walked on water and Lot's wife turned to salt and all these different things that cannot happen in real life. It only happen in mythology. It only happen in mythology, Christian mythology. We don't hear that much because it's current. You don't hear Judaistic, is that it? Or Judaist mythology. You don't hear Islamic philosophy, mythology, because their current doctrines now in place. They haven't gone the wayside like Roman and Greek gods, which people took seriously. There must have been at least 1 to 2. I'm trying to just count small, but there had to have been at least one person that prayed to Nike, the goddess of victory, to win in a track meet, 2,000 years ago, or more, maybe even more, but at least 2,000 years ago, maybe 2,500 years ago, maybe something like that. They prayed to the goddess Nike, which is the goddess of victory. That's where you get your Nike, your apparel and your shoe wear company name from. They took it seriously. And then what happens? It turned to a pair of sneakers. Apollo, the god of the sun and the god of music and things of that nature, turned to Apollo Theater on Harlem. I can go on and on and on. Because they're dated. They've gone out of fashion. People took them seriously to a point where they said, oh, well, there's this new guy. Yeah, they call him Jesus. They call him Jesus of Nazareth, He's talking this good gang, and we got to get used to this. And then, he dies, and I'm just going on for facts and figures. He dies, doesn't go to heaven, just fantasy land, but he dies, and 40 or 50 years later, they say, that guy had some good ideas. Let's go with that. Let's see what he has to say about things. And so it just went on from there. But with flat Earth, you can believe in Jesus. It's just like libertarianism. Anything goes. You can believe in God. You can not believe in God. You can want a anarchistic solution to all your problems, or you want a governmental solution to your problems. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really have any bearing. But I'm just saying that with the advent of the internet, especially the advent of communications devices, our mobile devices, our phones, we've been able to, transmit and be able to discover all kinds of different ways of understanding ourselves. And the flat Earth theory clearly says, even in, and this is not like a, a biased opinion. This is just a fact. It says pseudoscientific belief in a flat Earth are promoted by a number of organizations and individuals. So it's a pseudoscience. It's not a factual biology, chemistry, physics kind of science. It's not. It's none of those. My question is, can it help? That's one thing I'm asking in this particular broadcast. Can it do like what phrenology did? Phrenology was a philosophy that was brought to bear to discover the different regions of the brain. Like, you get love over here, you get happiness over here, you get anger over here, you get bitterness on the top of your head. I'm just giving you examples. So that turned into another idea of what they called philosophy of the mind, and then that evolved into psychology. And there are certain, different understandings of the brain where you can have emotional and cognitive skills and different things like that. And what phrenology may have tried to do was trying to explain that. But I'm just asking with flat Earth, what are the benefits of questioning whether the Earth is globular or not? What are the benefits of saying, it's a flat disk, and that there's a dome over top, and the sun goes around, and the Earth goes around, and but what about the other planets? Why aren't they flat? Why are there no flat Mercuries and flat Mars? And I've talked about this before. It's very sad. It's a sad situation because you have such brilliant people, very smart people, on both sides, on different sides, whether they're faithful or atheists. Because the one thing that they're not is objectivists. Nobody ever talks about objectivism in these ideas, and how the facts and truth and reality don't come into play as much. That's the sad part. That's the part that really, breaks my mind. I hate to say breaks my heart, because heart ain't nothing but a glorified pump. But it registers in my head, saying how unfortunate that all that is. Because you have people that are, like I said, they're relatively intelligent. They're moderately smart. They don't have any really other defaults except the fact that they say that the Earth is flat, and that's the problem. That's what we have to contend with. That's the contention. Saying that the Earth is round is the only. There's no argument. I was gonna say it's the only argument, but you can't even argue with it. We've come so far. I mean, we have pictures from space, from the space, the International Space Station. Too many S's there. But we don't even need those pictures from the International Space or from lunar modules or anything. 2,500 years ago, they used a whole. Hold on. Let me make sure I get this right. Use my notes. I can't find his name, but Aristotle was one of the few early discoverers to say that, oh yeah, the Earth is round. So if you're taking on Aristotle as somebody that didn't know what he was talking about, I mean, you're saying a lot. You're saying a whole lot. You're saying one of the greatest minds in all history didn't get it right. Well, he got it right, and he didn't use electronic means or super powerful telescopes or anything like that. He just simply observed the stars going around in a circle, and he said this has to be a globular Earth. that's what is so powerful about all of this, is that flat earthers still want to contend, still want to fight, still want to be on the front lines of what it means to be somebody that's thinking. And like I said, I give them some benefit of the doubt, because you have people in the government, and when they go against NASA, you have some people within the government for years, for as long as this especially America has formed. There have been lies, there's been cheating, there's been stealing, there's been killing, all in the name of, trying to go against whatever party you were for, whatever idea you were for. And it just amounts to a modicum of respect for them. I have a modicum. The only reason why I have a modicum of respect is because there are so many government lies, there's so many cover-ups, and there's so many different things that we don't know about. Like, what is Area 51 all about? What is all that? What is the commotion about that? What is Roswell all about? They say about aliens and things like that, and that nature. So it's like, I think Area 51 may not be about aliens necessarily. I think it's more like government cover-ups of different political campaigns and things like that. Allegedly, I don't even know. I'm just saying it's just goofy. And it's going to be like 2033 or something like that before we get to see the papers of Kennedy's assassination and everything that, related to that. So I don't know why they lock him up for so long. Somebody explain that to my dumb ass. I don't understand it. Well, we gotta see. You won't see that till 2066. Like, why? What's the? Are you blanking out all the different lines that were supposed to be true? Or I digress. Flat earthers, I have a modicum of respect, because I understand they want to stop the lies, but it's like they have a high-powered rifle, and they're aiming it, at a target, and they're hitting the target, but it's not the target they should be hitting. Like, they should be hitting the target, on the opposite side. That's saying that the globe is flat. I mean, is round. Them saying that the globe is flat is like saying, shooting at a different target that they don't need to be shooting at. In this particular case, I think that, with the power of the internet, we have the chance to see how many people are really focused on being, flat earthers. The flat earth, theory was really, it was debunked 2,500 years ago. We got it. The hole in the stick, and Aristotle, and I can't remember the other guy's name, but it sounds like Aristotle. It's like Arachnees or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it's called. But I think if my God, I think if we had the various types of people who brought into existence the different ways for so I think it's very impressive to see, how Aristotle used his might, used his way of understanding ahead of time, ahead of the way before. That's what I think is just so special. That's what I think really brings to the point of knowing who we really are. That's special to me. I mean, flat earthers, I just don't. It's sad, really. It is really sad, because they're so gung-ho, and they're so attracted to this idea that is false and has been proven false. Like I said, 2,500 years ago, it was proven false. Then it was reunited by this scientists that went by the pseudonym Parallax in the 1850s. So in the 19th century, when science was taking off, you had everyone from Darwin to Edison, challenging the ideas of playing with God, or playing God or something like that. That really showed you the difference between what really happened and what was really true, what was really happening in the lives of people. That is extraordinary to me. That is very extraordinary. That that brings me to a point where it's like, I hear you talking, but you're not talking the right way. You're not saying words. You're not saying words that really mean anything. You're not saying anything that truly has a different tone to it. That doesn't really have a different meaning behind it. Like, you're saying words, that's cute, but what are you saying truly? What words are you really, discussing? That's what I'm talking about. So if you ever have, an inkling of trying to be a flat earther, you might want to give it up. You might want to give it up. I mean, I'm not saying you should. It's a semi-free country. We have a lot of regulations and controls, but for the most part, we have the freedom of speech. That's like, once that's gone, poof, we have nothing left. That's it. That's the bastion of all we have. That's the beacon of light that we have in this country. Our freedom of speech. That's all we have, really, to combat, the issues that we have, that we can speak up. I can have this little, show on this great platform and continue on and be, worthy of it. That's extraordinary to me. So the flat earthers have the freedom, have their what would be, I'm an atheist, but their God-given freedom. I just like how that, so many different, like warms my heart and stuff like that. If I didn't realize it, I would say I would use it, but I know better. So I wouldn't say God-given, but just, nature-given, given by the nature of human beings, by being nature of man. That's what I'm saying. By their natures, the nature of them, of their humaneness, the nature of their humanity. That's what makes the most amount of sense. That's powerful to me. That's very powerful, and it's just like I said, it's a mismatch. I'm watching. He might have been a reverend or some kind of clergyman or something like that, saying that the Earth is round, and he's giving examples from the Bible, and showing the differences in what is being said, and showing how Jesus the Creator. Isn't that interesting? Listen to that part. They never talked about Jesus in the first. In the Old Testament, they never name him by name. They give hints, quote unquote, about somebody's going to be coming. There's going to be the Messiah, and things like that. But they have an illustration of Jesus the Creator, which is supposed to be God, but God obviously has no form or function or anything like that. I mean, there is no God, so they had to say, well, in the sequel, we'll create this guy. He says he's God. He'll go around saying all this stuff, and eventually he'll be put to death, and we'll see what happens after that. See if people really grasp that. It took 40 to 50 years for people to understand it, to really get it. I think it was Paul. He didn't meet him in Damascus. Let's not get it twisted. He didn't meet Jesus in Damascus, but Paul did start one of the first churches preaching Christianity, which was not called Christianity at the time. I don't think it was called something different. But has evolved or devolved into Christianity. But that's the goofiness. That's the weirdness of all of this. Is the fact that we have so many different people that are, you know, focused on being, you know, flat earth deniers, and they're theists, they're believers, and then you have flat earth flat earth supporters, and they're, quote unquote scientists or wannabe scientists. They're not, they're pseudoscientists. Then you have believers that are for the globe theory, or not even theory, it's the globe existence, the globe reality of the earth. And we still have no, doctrine. There's no, why isn't there a why isn't there a strong consensus? Why isn't there a clear-cut, concise role for all of us to play in saying that there's a round earth, there's a round globe, there's a globular earth, and then these pseudoscientists will go away, just like the phrenologists went away. They said, no, I can't. And like I said, phrenology was used in order to instruct, philosophers of mind, now psychologists, in the way of what different regions corresponded to the brain. You got your prefrontal lobes, and you have your other regions of your cranium and everything like that, which house your brain, and what parts of your brain dictate speech, and different parts that dictate motor skills and different things like that. I mean, that's why it was a pseudoscience, because it said stuff like love and your anger and stuff like that. It's just like, it's complete bullshit. But it did give an application. It gave an application. I'm gonna use my notes now. See, it said ideology, inspiring, mirthfulness, reflectiveness, moral, veneration, benevolence. This is all what was thought. Language in the front where the eyes are. Alimentiveness. I've never heard that word before. Vitativeness. Vitativeness. That's what that is. So that's what phrenology was, but like I said, it paved the way. It was mainly racist, is what it was. Racist. It was really racist. See, this is a quote I found from Brainley. Final answer. Phrenology contributed to the early idea of brain localization, the belief that specific brain areas are linked to certain functions, but was later discredited. So it did contribute to brain localization, but it was discredited overall. So here's another idea. While phrenology itself has long been discredited, the study of the inner surface of the skulls of archaic human species allows modern researchers to obtain information about the development of various areas of the brains of those species, and thereby infer something about their cognitive and communicative abilities. See? So what can the flat earthers provide? Can they provide anything? Can they provide anything like phrenology did? What is the possibility there? What is their issue? What is it that they can say we can contribute, or we know? It's like they can even admit, all right, look, we know that the earth is round, but we're saying it's flat in order to give you a better perspective of how great the world is as it is round. Like, they're not even close. Like, it should be less than a pseudoscience. It should just be, I guess, just bullshit. At least phrenology was a pseudoscience. It was a science, but it was a pseudoscience, and it actually helped in a long way uh, infer something about their cognitive and communicative abilities. But flat Earth, I see none of that. I don't see any of that whatsoever. I see none of that. I don't see them being able to show the power of intellect. There is no intellect with flat earthers. I don't care. They have no they can have all the models they want that show. Well, in this diagram, we see that the Earth is on a disk and it has a dome and the sun and the moon. No, no, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. It's very nuanced. It's very nuanced and simple. Like I said, hole in the ground, stick. 2,500 years ago or so. We had that. We understood that. We could grasp that. We could get that. Salute to Height. I just had to get that out. But salute to Height. He dropped $20 on me, so it's down to $140 now. I appreciate him. Thank you. You can follow in his footsteps by contributing to he uses PayPal. I'll give you my PayPal. PayPal.me/SKYLERSAUNDERS. You can help support the machine. You can help, completely encourage more views, more people. If you don't want to give money, at least tell 4 people help me. Don't tell 5 people. Just be like, hey, there's this goofy nigga with a black hat and a gold tie and a black shirt. That's all you gotta do. So that's all I gotta say about the idea of it intrigues me. It really does intrigue me to know that she just thinking about flat earthers, like that's like saying we're not governed by gravity. Like there's no gravity. Everybody knows there's gravity, but you can say, well, I just jumped in the air. There's no gravity. What just pushed you back down? It's gravity. And I'm thinking about Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson. I was giving him a lot of credit, but he is a proponent of, global warming, action, and he's against fossil fuels. And that I know of, I think he's against fossil fuels for the most part. He's thinking about, solar and wind power instead of using traditional fossil fuels. And it's just like, God damn, can we just have, why can't we have like a billionaire and billions of dollars, go to Ayn Rand Institute? I'm saying it right now. It's not going to take millions of dollars. We need billions of dollars, just like the social network. He was talking about, the guy who founded Victoria's Secret, and he got $4 million from it. It's a good payday, $4 million. He sold it to the Wexler Group. They took that to $500 million. And what did he do? He jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge. That's what I'm talking about. We don't need millions of dollars for the Ayn Rand Institute. I'm going off on a tangent a little bit here, but I'm just saying we need billions of dollars. That's the way we're going to change the world. It's all about money. We can talk and say, oh, well, Ayn Rand didn't have $1 billion. And that's cool, and that's true, and that's factual. However, in order to have a movement, in order to have some kind of traction, we're going to need billions of dollars. We're going to need at least 10 to 100 billion dollars to have Ayn Rand's ideas. I mean, and I respect ARI, the Ayn Rand Institute, because they want more books in the hands of students and stuff like that. But we need to get even more. We need to get to the illiterate. We need to get to the people that can't read, and then get them to be able to read. We need to get to the rich people. We forget about we talk about the rich people. Oh, there's so much money. Why don't they give it to the poor? Why don't you give to the poor? Why don't stopping you? You want to have people that worked their whole lives and created great fortunes, and then worried about their ideas. That's ridiculous. That just caught my attention. Because I do contribute. I contribute to the Ayn Rand Institute, and the leaders of the Ayn Rand Institute. So you will know some of them. I contribute to the hater. He's an objectivist, so he has an idea of what objectivism is. So I'm very aware of that. I'm very keen on that. So I do respect the fact that Ari is doing something. But I heard, this hurts me a little bit. The CEO and the president of Ayn Rand Institute, Tal Safani, great man, excellent man, smart man, very engaging. I'm glad he is the executive director. However, he said, millions and millions of dollars. I'm like, no, that's fine for that project, but we need billions and billions of dollars. Like, I'm starting to sound like what Johnny Carson said about Carl Sagan. Carl Sagan, I don't think ever said billions and billions, but people always said, Carl Sagan, oh, Carl, billions and billions, but we need billions and billions of dollars to build up Ayn Rand Institute. That's what we really need in order for it to function properly across the world. For people to just get exposed. Just get exposed to the ideas. I don't care if people, I do care if people turn into objectivists. That'd be great. But I just want them to be exposed, just to say, this doesn't make any sense. I'm done. I'm putting down this book, Fountainhead. I'm putting down Atlas Shrugged. I'm putting down the virtue of services. I'm putting down capitalism, the unknown ideal. I'm putting down Introduction to Objectivist Epistemology. I'm putting down all the other, affiliate and satellite books by Tara Smith and Peter Schwartz and Dr. Well, I don't know how many are doctors, but he definitely wants to be called Dr. Harry Binswanger. So I just wanted to rant on that because this kind of stuff gets to me when I'm thinking about flat Earth. I'm like, if they had a rational philosophy, would they even flirt with this idea? I don't want them to be made foolish, because that's what I kind of felt when I was like that. Because I was a believer myself. I was in the faith. I was a faithful. I was in the faith. So I understand what it's like to have a revolution in your mind. To say, whoa, everything I've known and everything I've heard, everything has to be completely tossed overboard. Everything, all that, yes, yes it does. To be on, I guess it's kind of like flotsam and jetsam. It's like tossing away all the stuff you don't need off of a boat to prevent it from sinking or prevent it from going in, a terrible direction. That's what it's kind of like. That's exactly what it's like. So, like Neil deGrasse Tyson, he's eloquent. He has used beautiful diction and wonderful words for globular Earth, for the Earth being round. But he's all about that global warming stuff. Like, it's just sad. It's really sad. And most of the scientists are. Most scientists, that's the thing, the scientists, people hardly ever say the philosophers. People don't say that much, but let's say scientists. Scientists always, the scientists say, But we have to have the idea of the philosopher. the philosophies. And I'm namely mentioning objectivism because that is I don't want to say it's the only rational philosophy, because Aristotle had a philosophy and that was rational. It wasn't full, it had holes, it was incomplete. And Ayn Rand, for the most part, patched up those holes, patched up the, and made those incompletions complete. So that's what I think is true to today. That's just, my opinion right now. So I think that it is incumbent upon us as objectivists to continue to spread the word, let other people know, and raise money. We have to raise money. It's all about a dollar sign. We know that. We know we're objectivists, but we're like the 5%ers. We're the poor righteous teachers. We know that there's 85% of the world that is deaf, dumb, and blind. We know that 10% of the world know but won't share their ideas with the world, with the 85%ers. And there's 5% that do know and do share, but they may not be as, they could be rich in knowledge or rich in thought, but maybe not in financially. And it's really by, it's really by relative. It's really relative, because most objectivists are pretty rich. They have pretty much good money. I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm in like the lower middle class of that money era. But what I'm saying is that, they try to teach. They want to know. They want to let you know. They want to put out books. They want to put out different programs and different things like that. That's just so powerful. That's what's so great about understanding the mechanics of objectivism. And look, I have 4 people that were in here at the top. If I had 40,000 people or 400,000 people or 4 million people watching right now, that would be interesting. I'm glad that even Mr. Choice Star Terrain has at least 20,000 views a day. Every time he goes on, he's going to get at least 20,000 views. He can go up to 68,000, 100,000, 200,000. I think he had at one point. I'm glad he has millions of views. I applaud that. I salute that. I'm glad he gets donations. He said, from what I understand, that he makes more money right now than he has ever made at Hot 97 when he was there. That's what he said. Then maybe it's the first year he said that he was at Hot 97. That's extraordinary. That's beautiful. I think that's something that should be applauded. So, objectivism. I mean, it's once you grasp it, once you like, they do that for the wire. I think it's Bodhi. I may be wrong, but I think it's Bodhi goes, that meme, on the internet, he goes, that understanding, that realization, that's great. Jeff, still being a low viewed live feed. Yikes. Well, thanks for coming in, for being one of my viewers, Jeff. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Tell me tips for having more views. You're the expert here. Tell me what's up. What do I have to do? You're Mr. Know-It-All. He's Mr. Know-It-All. All right, that's all I'm gonna sing, because I'm not trying to have Stevie Wonder sue me, for God's sakes. Oh my God. So I just think it's so sad, really. It really is sad. But it's scary too, because it's like you don't know until you know, you know? Not be boring, first of all. Well, I got 4 people in here with 4 likes. They don't think I'm boring. I got $20 for a tip. That person doesn't think I'm boring. Seems like you're the only one. Rick James stepping in. It's a little early for him. Okay. Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, he believes he can fly. He believes he can touch the sky and think about it every night and day. Spreads his wings and glides into the looking glass to see. I present Skylar Saunders. Very good, Rick James. That was great. That was perfect. Perfect. Salute to you, sir. We got, Jeff, you might want to talk to Rick James about seeing if I'm boring. It's been almost a year now since he's been following my show, so just talk to Rick James, see if I'm boring or not. See if he doesn't have a good time. See why he's been here ever since July 30th, 2023. Just talk to him, Jeff. Just say a little something to Rick James. That's all you gotta do. Yeah, we're all haters. I mean, I'm a hater. That's why I don't mind Jeff. That's why I'm not blocking him. I'm not sitting him in timeout. I'm not doing anything like that. I need Jeff. Jeff is the perfect example. It's better than I really don't like I take compliments. I'm like, thanks. But it's more people are like, you did a good job. I don't need a good job. You did excellent. You were great. You were wonderful. You were outstanding. You did good. You were very good. Like that's like from the movie Whiplash. Whiplash is like, the two most I don't know what he said. I'll just say, paraphrase, insulting words you can say to somebody is good job. Like, just to say good job. Like, you're not excellent. Yeah, silence. Yeah, so I don't even know what his parameters are. I don't know what Jeff's parameters are. What is a low view? What is a low view live view? What is a high view? What are a high view? 40? 400? 400,000? 4 million? 400 million? What is a high view? He gives no specifics. He has no data. He has nothing to back himself up. He's a little boy. He's just a little child. But anyway, like I was saying, objectivism needs to step in like hardcore. And I'm doing what I can to get money, because that's what I'm saying it right now. I was gonna save this for a while. I was gonna be cute and be, secretive and say somebody gave $1 billion to the Ayn Rand Institute. I'm working on trying to be a billionaire so I can give $1 billion to Mr. Choice Star Terrain and the Ayn Rand Institute. I was gonna hold on to that, but it would have been probably too obvious by the time I said that. And I don't know if anybody's gonna remember this broadcast, but it'll go up. But that's the reason why I would want to become a billionaire, to get Ayn Rand's ideas and Mr. Choice Star Terrain's ideas out into the world. Because one thing about, it's like a protectorate. It's a switch. It's like his objective hate is like a vest and an extra clip. It's like it protects you, and it gives you greater firepower. The objective hate. You might not think, oh well, that's derivative, or that's that you can pass that off. He's not really serious. No, you should read his book. It's very serious. We're confronted with hate, obviously, every day. So. Rick James says, if you're going to make such a comment, be ready to back it up. Some people don't have any backbone. Exactly, yeah. Jeff is a coward. He's a liar, a coward, and a nigger. He wants to say all this stuff, but not have anything to back it up. And let's just wonder what his channel is like. I'm sure he has 1.6 billion views. He has 325 million subscribers. You heard he's a thief. Okay. I didn't hear that, but okay. But yeah, but Rick James, if you want to applaud somebody, if you want Height gave me $20 today. Just for this is it. This is what's so beautiful. I'm laying around. I'm like, I should go live just to see what people are doing at. Well, it's not even 2 o'clock. I started this when this was 1 o'clock, and I was like, you know what? Let me try this out. Let me just see what happens. And I go up. I start talking. Where I see Height, $20. He's on his way to $100 club 3 months in a row. That's encouragement for anybody else. I know you, Rick James. That's cool. You got him rich because you brought people to me and brought myself to other people like Rachel's Ghost. They're really cool people talking about music. I'm a poser when it comes to rock and roll. I have no idea what the third track of the Who's. I don't even know what the album was called. You know, I don't know what the set list of the Rolling Stones in 1969 or 1970. You know, I'll be an extreme poser if I stayed in there, and I'll just be hawking my stuff. I'll just be like, look, you need to read my stuff, but it's not really a literary. If I can probably find a literary consortium, but now it's just down to me being focused on the idea of getting this money. I where are the billionaires? And I want Mark Zuckerberg, but this is the thing. It's queasy. It's goofy. I don't like saying this. I don't like saying like, oh, well, Mark Zuckerberg should be sending billions of dollars to Ayn Rand and Warren Buffett and Bill Gates and Larry Ellison, and that's false. That's not right. I should be making billions and saying that's not fair. You can't say other people's how to spend other people's money. That's their business. It would be cool. You can influence them. You can give them a ready ideal for saying this is a very important and very succinct philosophy, and it should be displayed across the globe to everybody. Just touch everybody. You don't have to subscribe to it if you don't want to. You're probably going to derive something crazy that they do with capitalism and altruism and individualism. They say rugged individualism. They say compassionate capitalism. They say effective altruism. Like, what? What is that about? Why is that even true? Why is that even part of the idealism? So that just crosses my mind sometimes. It really bothered me, and I was like, you know what? That's their money. They can do with their billions whatever they wish to do. It should be where that would be cool. That would be, but you have to do it. I have to create billions in some way, somehow. I have to create those billions because it's not going to be millions and millions. I'm sorry, Mr. Safani. It's not going to be millions and millions. We need billions and billions of dollars. We need billions. Like there were people that have donated millions of dollars to the cause, but they got money to burn with the E. I think it's with a U, sir. But yeah, so I think that just takes my breath away. Just makes me gasp. Just to think of all the people, I always say it's like the Winky Guard. Those are the men and the Wizard of Oz that were very serious and very, loyal to the witch, and everything was all what the witches said. And then Dorothy just splashed her with water. She melted. I hope I'm not spoiling it for anybody, but they flipped, and this is true too. This is humanity, not a movie, not a fantasy movie, but people aren't going to automatically just drop everything they know and say, oh, wow, objectivism, this makes sense, this is reality, this is true, I'm really going to go for this. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. People are going to, say, well, that may be true for you, but it's not going to be true for me. Like, in some circumstances, that's proper and said correctly, but not in all circumstances, not in all situations. That's not proper. We so early today. This is lunchtime. Yeah, this is lunchtime. I'm just experimenting. Just experimenting. I'm gonna probably go back to 4 o'clock tomorrow. See or something goes on. I'm probably gonna go back to my regular scheduled programming. Cause this is a little tough. This is a little tough. And what's ironic about Jeff coming through is that I had one of my highest rated shows, and it's still climbing. I had 345 viewers. I mean, what does he want? Does he want 345,000? Does he want 345 million views? What? There's no standard with Jeff. Jeff is a scared coward. He's a little boy. He's a little child. So he's not objective. He's a subjectivist. He's a hater, but a subjective hater. He's an irrationalist. And if I were boring, which I do think I am, so comparatively speaking, especially, if I were boring, I don't know how I would have got 51,000 views total, and most of that, the bulk of that, is from just over a year ago. So I have to recognize that. Got 535 subscribers. I'm glad I have 1 subscriber. That could be the case. Flat Earthers and Globalists talk with civility. 369 views. BG will have to turn over all new lyrics. 224 views. Flat Earthers get a rebuttal from Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson. 62 views. Civil Rights Act at 70. 74 views. It's all facts. Not inflating anything. Not saying anything. It's all truth. It's reality. And you can't mess with reality. You can't mess with it. You can't mess with reality. If you mess with reality, reality will mess with you. Definitely. Ayn Rand said this: you can evade reality, but you can't evade the consequences of evading reality. That is the truth. That is a fact. You can go against truth, reality, justice, rationality, all you want, but you're just hurting yourself. You're cut. There's a phrase that I always heard when I was growing up. You're cutting off your faces. You're cutting off your nose to spite your face. I always wonder what that. Okay, I got it now. you're saying like you're so gung ho and so angry or so riled up that you cut off your own nose and say ha 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 there that's what you get, but you spotted your own face. You're not you know going against anyone else. You're hurting yourself in a sense. That was a good show. I appreciate that, Rick James. Thank you, sir. Flat Earth folks can't get around curvature facts. I love it. It's great. I'm looking right now. Looking right now at the different channels, the different ways to show my details of the show. So I'm happy. I got 4 people in here. I got 4 likes. I'm feeling good. It's Monday. This might be my favorite day of the week. I like the polar opposites. Monday and Saturday. Monday and Saturday are like the total opposites of each other. Sunday is almost a close second, but Saturday and Monday are kind of like. I mean, maybe Monday and Sunday are totally different because most things are closed on Sunday, and almost everything is open on Monday, except small shops and different stuff like that. But when school is back in session, that's gonna be the day everybody comes in. Oh my God, I gotta go to school. It's Monday. I gotta do all this stuff. I got work to do. But throughout the week it gets to different, and people I love Friday. Oh my God, Friday. It's the beginning of the weekend, but you wouldn't get to the weekend without Monday. You can't get to the weekend without Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You have to live throughout all days and appreciate every single day because they are all precious. They're all for you to be glad in, to be happy with. And that's what I learned from Ayn Rand. That's what I learned from Choice Star Terrain. That ability to be happy. Thursday is the worst day of the week. I thought you were going to say Thursdays was the worst days. Now sip champagne when we thirsty. But why, Rick James? Why is Thursday the worst day of the week? Please tell me. Because I'm probably going to get like 15 viewers from this from this whole show. We'll see. I'll let you know. But the funny thing about Jeff is he adds to my viewer count. He says all that bullshit, but he adds to the viewer count. Go figure. I think Thursday is the most interesting day of the week. Like I said, my favorite is Saturday and Monday. Those two are my favorite, but Thursday is the most interesting because they had in the 4th season on The Wire. There was a school administrator and one of the heads of the school. She was saying how, you know, they get the Thursday comes in and they get that feeling, they get that sense of the Friday coming on and the weekend, and then they have a different kind of thing. And I wholeheartedly remember that whole feeling. Like Tuesday is kind of like okay, all right. Wednesday is like getting over the hump. Thursday is like, what, I'm gonna start planning for my weekend right now. I'm gonna see what happens, and then bam, it's Friday. Some people call it Thursday, Friday Eve. They do cute little stuff like that. I don't think it should be called Friday Eve. It should just be its own day. It's very goofy. But hey, it's been real. I'd like to thank Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff, for hating. Thank you, Jeff, for being, a thorn in my side. I need the thorn in my side. I need the rough gravel to walk on because it's better for my mind. So thank you, and of course, thank you, Rick James. Rick James is a day one. Dab Jew, Jeff. That's funny. So Rick James and Jeff were the only ones in here. So I definitely have to thank Rick James. Salute to you, sir. And I will see you sometime tomorrow. Maybe 1 o'clock again, maybe 4 o'clock, maybe 12 o'clock, midnight. I don't know. We'll see each other. Take care.